Hey guys, welcome back to our Texas Homestead. Today I'm going to do a product review on my chicken coop. Show you some things that I did to upgrade it and any issues I've had with it, the good, the bad, the kind of ugly. You know, the drill. So let me kind of flip my camera around and we'll go over everything. Alright, coop wise, let me lock that so I don't do anything. It's a 10 by 10 run. The coop is supposedly a 12 chicken coop. If you're putting bantams in there, yeah, maybe. If you're doing full-size birds, you're not going to get 12 in there like you should. Storage wise and everything on it, it's been pretty nice. You can see you got two roosting bars. Today I got a bunch of flies in for some reason, but they'll all go away. I did add a exterior thermometer to it that reads in the house, so that way we can keep track of what the temperatures are in it. If you look, issues I've had with it, you see a gap here on the doors. Well, that's on all the doors. And it will, when it rains, it will leak water in it. So what I've had to do is go out and buy some rubber strips that's made for just a seal. I cut this little edge off here and was able to attach it with their screws and then some self-tapping screws to be able to seal these doors. It does make it a little harder to close, but not bad. Notched out the little deal here for the latch and able to latch it back. Another issue you're going to notice with it is even the gap at the top of the doors. It's kind of wide. You're going to deal with water entry there also. I bought some roof flashing. It comes in like a 10-foot piece, and it's enough to do all 4 doors over it. Took some of the rubber seal that I showed you before, plugged in some holes with it, and then came back out with some sealant to help stop that. Also the seams here where everything meets. It's like when you put it together, these little seams is where the boards go into. If it gets enough water in it, it will go underneath the board and into the coop. Also, it also lets water set in that track until it dries out. So we bought some Duraflex window, door, siding, and trim, max weather technology, advanced exterior sealant. This stuff actually goes on really well. It does shrink a little bit. You can see I've got a little bit of shrinkage here. I've got to come back out and redo. But other than that, it did really well. You can see here I didn't put any sealant on it. I just left the rubber piece there. Now when putting the coop together, you can see how the roof line is above the run. Right here. I've went through every photo that Producer's Pride put out for this coop, and every one of them shows this roof panel above the run. Well, there's an issue with that. The water will actually, especially if you're running a tarp on it, like the Producer's Pride tarp, the water can pool up here at the top and then run in and then actually go into your door opening. Okay, so I bought some additional roof flashing that has an edge to it. I had to cut the edge off. And added a drip tray here basically for it to run off away from the opening. 2 or 3 times trying to figure out what was causing the problem. I've had to go through and change out all my litter in it, all the wood chips out of it, and get that fixed. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I did come up in behind it with that sealer and seal it. Quit trying to undo my shoelaces. Also sealed it here for the same issue where the water would actually go down the wall, fill this in, and leak water into it. You could actually watch the water come down the back wall inside of the coop. That cap off. There's the feeders that I made. So they're pretty easy to do. Let's see. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, but it's actually full to about here right now. Filled this one up yesterday. Just added a board here for a roost. I need to probably get another one so I can add another roost over there. What? Told you the barred rocks are friendly. Lighting, I added motion lights on it. Pretty simple, just added a board behind it. Had to stretch it a little bit, stretch the wiring a little bit, but pretty easy. And just attach the board with a strap and some screws. Pretty simple to add. The other ones went right onto the walls of the coop. As I said, this tarp was added to keep rain out of that area. So that way they actually have a dry spot in there when it does rain. If not, with the open run, the whole inside of the run does get wet, which is expected. Lights, I said here. One good sized vent. It's really all it has. Here, and you kind of see what I'm talking about, how it seals. If you wanted to come in and add some sealant, I didn't on this side. I did here, not on the sides because of the roof lip. One egg. Already kind of got one out earlier today. Now, storage-wise, it does give you some storage, but they don't give you a board for the floor. Their photos show a board for the floor, which is kind of odd, in my opinion, that they show it, but it doesn't come with it. I threw some rock salt down there to keep some intruders out. A lot of stuff doesn't like rock salt. Apparently ants don't mind it. Just a bunch of little D-rings for your locks, which I'm missing one for some reason. Roof-wise, seems to be good. As you can see some little air gaps in it. If they were recessed in behind the roof lip, I didn't mess with them, just to help it with airflow through the coop. You see, you'll see that stuff all over the place on the coop. Other than that, so we have 8 chickens that are going to be full size in it. That, to me, is about the max. Hang on. So other than that, the coop's actually really nice. It just needed to be designed better. The tarp on it was like $40. It's already seeing some wear issues, but you know, for a $40 tarp, I guess it's okay. I would like to have seen it last a little longer. I mean, I think it's going to last longer because I'm going to force it to last longer, but hanging stuff in the coop for like your water tank or a bucket for food, it's not really going to happen. We tried it. it sagged the roof just because of the way it's put together. If you look, you see the little clamps here that clamp the roof and the wall together. You can see I even put a board up there for stability for it to stay up there, and I actually had the hooks up. But it's still just the weight of food and water and stuff will, it'll sag it down. It comes bare wood, which I've still got a spot on it that's bare wood that I just absolutely missed. See there? That's the actual color of it. That's going to rot pretty quick. It's not going to live up to weather or heat and everything else, especially a lot of rain, a lot of snow. We put a pretty good coat of paint on it. Of course, obviously red and white. The metal itself was already that color. But other than that, Coop's been pretty good. We added a fence line underneath the ground, about a foot down, a little over a foot. See it here. Just wire tied it in case any predators want to try to dig around it. I need to come back and clip all the little tabs, but hadn't got that far yet. But other than that, I mean, upgrades that I would make on it if I got it again would be what I showed you with all the ceiling and something to put on that back wall. I mean, that tarp's only going to last so long. I use a sheet of metal to keep it up so that way it doesn't set my lights off as much. So, I mean, that's the upgrades I would make. We actually use like horse pellets, like the wood pellets in the floor for them to scratch through. It's worked really great. It absorbs water. If they spill water or it does rain in here, it's done really good about taking care of it. This was only 4 bags of pellets at like $8 a bag. We've got another bag or two in case we need it, but right now this has been really good. So I'll show you that bag real quick, so in case you got a question on what that is. Let's see. There you go. Palletized bedding for horses and small animals. They show cats on it for some reason. It comes in a 40-pound bag. Works really, really good. Highly recommend that. Seems to be better than a lot of the other stuff you would add. We added some sand in the corner also, just so that way they'd have a dust spot. But they used that pelletized bedding more for a dust bath than they do the sand. So that's my recommendations. That's my upgrades. That's my review on it. I said so far it's been a good coop, but I can see where there are issues and stuff that needs to be changed on it and upgraded. So hope this helped y'all out. Hope it shows you some ideas on things to do to help get your coop ready. And good luck with all your chickens. We'll see you back on our Texas homestead next time. Bye.